Hey, hello, it's me, Leonie. Hello, new and old to this little YouTube channel. It's been 2 years since my last public video on cats. Since then, I have lost my job, and I'm riding the turbulent seas of freelancing. Lots of desert, but I'm doing okay considering the circumstances. It's I don't know what to say. It's just really unstable, basically. And yeah, lots of times where I just don't have work, and what can you do? I'm just super grateful that I have um patrons who are helping me out a bit. I mean, obviously, it's not a full-time thing, obviously, but it helps a little. You can see the Patreon link below and other social media shenanigans because I update my blog the most and then cross post to social media that way. That's what I've been doing for those new to this video. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm more active on Instagram and Twitter, but not too often. I'm mostly focused on doing like a certain number of blog posts, about 1 to 3 blog posts a week, and then let people know on social media about it because that is my limit. I'll probably talk more about it later on. So there is a blog post associated with this video as well. It's linked below. Uh, and you might be wondering, what are you doing? Why are you making a YouTube video? Well, I'm planning to do these randomly when I feel like it, and if there's actual stuff to talk about. Mostly I'll just be, as I said, updating my blogs. Gosh, but I'm doing this also so that I practice speaking again. As you might have known, I'm a hermit, and I'm kind of not too great at speaking. I take a long time to think over things and what I want to say. So I think this was, I don't know how many times I had to start recording all over again because I was stumbling over my words. And right now, I hope this recording stays because I do not want to do it again. Phew. Okay. Again, I want to thanks to my patrons. Is that how you say the word? Yes. Uh, I was debating if I should actually display patron names across the screen, but I don't know how sustainable that would be, and I don't know. I don't know if my patrons will actually want the attention. Maybe I'll let them opt in. Maybe I don't know. I'll think about it another time. Not now. Not now. And anyway, as I was saying, there is a um a blog post associated with this video where I'm gonna reflect on me going back to anatomy studies now, and I'm scrolling down through my blog post, my draft of it right now, and you can have a look at my studies in the blog post in the description below. I'll link it. But essentially, I'm glad that I'm doing these weekly sketchbook posts. I'm currently studying from the book Strength Training Anatomy. I'm going back to it. I think I last left off in February. I'm glad I'm making progress, not procrastinating, and doing these studies as part of my regular posting schedule. So I just want to keep doing it so that I don't get rusty again. Uh, I'm just glad I'm gonna do this next week. Gonna commit. As with all my blog posts, I'm gonna switch between rambling and reflecting, like I'm doing right now, and on this YouTube video, and posting art progress on its own. So I think I'm like, how will I keep doing lots of these videos weekly? Probably not. I'm just doing it randomly when, like, on a random week where I'm doing a sketchbook post, basically. So if you want more of these, like, more art stuff going on, just go to my blog, not here. This is just for me to maybe hopefully reach out to more people because YouTube has a really good search algorithm, and I'm just gonna see what works and what doesn't and try my best because I am a hermit, I'm a freelance artist. I'm trying to make this a stable thing, and that's the reality of it. And I'm just gonna try speaking to a microphone again since I've done this before. I'm just kind of rusty. Hello. I am a bit nervous. Okay, back to the blog post that I have written out. I have much to revise to learn in anatomy, figure drawing, character design, animal anatomy, composition, color and light, storytelling, and maybe environments if I get around to that one, because I don't really enjoy doing environments. They really bore me out. But if I have to do it for the story, I'll bear with it. I have to do it. What can you do? It's story is the main point of the whole thing of the illustration, and you have to do it. But it's not really what I would actually want to focus on. Anywho, I'm not gonna overwhelm myself with all these topics and subjects at once. Probably do so one or so at a time. It's definitely a lifelong journey, as I've been saying in repeatedly in all my blog posts. I've been doing this blog for almost 9 years for those new to it. And as much as this whole learning journey is full of frustration and me getting impatient and all that, I have accepted this. It's gonna take a long time for me to get better at all this stuff that I've loosely planned for myself. Who knows what will happen, you know? In regards to my posting schedule, as I said, I really hope I can keep 1 to 3 times a week. Previously I was really hesitant because I don't want things to be unmanageable, and then I burn out again because I tend to burn out often. As someone who is on the autistic spectrum, and I struggle with I just tunnel vision, and then I burn out on the one thing. I just am too anxious to think about other things in my life, and then I'll focus on the one thing until I burn out on that one thing. It's not good. Anyway, coming across advice, mostly from concept art YouTubers that I watch, that one has to post something every day, something or anything, and on many platforms, so that you work with the algorithm and exist on many feeds. It's really discouraging. Because maybe there's some bias involved, because these YouTubers are themselves posting every week with at least a video and showing their progress and selling their tutorials, so they're reaching more people to sell what they teach and Gumroad or courses or their own Patreon. Like, you know what they're doing. They're trying to sell educational content, and so that they can keep going. So I see what they're doing. I understand. They're telling people what works, right? In order to be a independent freelance artist on the internet. But this is not sustainable for me and for many others, because I hear other art YouTubers lots of stories about burnout and losing fulfillment in their lives, and they just don't want to keep making tutorials all the time for other people. It sucks out the creativity out of them, and that kind of makes me feel sad. Or when some of them are just chasing for that, well, I'll go into it. The algorithm, basically. For me, I don't want to simply post anything just to keep chasing the algorithm and audience, because I personally prefer curation over quantity when I consume and make content. All of this chasing things that don't really suit me reminds me when I got advice to do 3D art, UI art, and other multi-skill things that I didn't really want to do if I were to go into game art and get hired by game studios. Now, know that this was years before Mighty Games when I joined them, and nowadays I'm sure the advice still applies with even higher quality standards. Like, the quality of the industry is so high to the point that it's really hard to get into it. I just don't know how like, aside from making your own game studio company, I don't know how this industry is going to facilitate so many different artists and creatives. I don't know. A lot of people just have to do it independently, basically, and tap into the market of other artists trying to learn and get into the industry. It feels like a cycle. Anyway, back to my point. At the time when I got this advice, I felt I was being shamed for my occasional life drawing visits, but I ignored the advice anyway because I already quit teaching back then and high school teaching, and I was done trying to fit into a hole that wasn't for me. Generally, there's been many experiences of trying to fit into different holes and failing at it because my heart wasn't really into it, and or I was unable to keep it sustainable. Digressing, I don't want the algorithm or what I think people or the industry wants. It dictate what I create and post and how often. I don't want Patreon and posting art on social media become an endless people pleasing cycle of burnout, desire for validation, and to be valued for my art and as a person. And it's a dangerous hole to fall in, and sometimes because I'm a hermit, I don't have much social interactions, I tend to put my self-worth into how much validation I get on social media sometimes, and this is why I do so much breaks so much. Like, I just don't enjoy social media. I just feel like my life source gets sucked out, basically. Because I don't know. Well, I do know. It's just I don't know how to articulate it right now. Okay, so. Anyway, it's the whole ongoing process of emotionally distancing myself from the negatives of social media and using it sparingly for its positives and kind people. I do hope to keep making sketches and studies on a weekly basis, as I said. This pace works for me better. I'm getting a tiny bit more art confidence thanks to these little steps of progress, and making studies is slow becoming one of my regular habits. Like, at the moment, I'm trying to make it 30 minutes a day where I'm doing just rough sketches to warm up. In the past, I didn't really make time to do that because I don't know, laziness, unmotivated, I felt hopeless. I just felt stuck. I feel like, what's the point? I don't know. It was that negative spiral of thoughts where I'm like, no, what's the point? No one wants my art, like that kind of thought. And now I just want to do it just for myself, right? So that's my mindset right now. I'm doing these studies for myself so that I get better. Like, I'm not trying to enter a invisible barrier to get into an industry that I don't know where I fit in, basically. I think I know what I'm talking about. I didn't really plan it properly with this video. I'm just rambling and half reading off my blog post, so bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Anyway, back to the blog post I have written. Blah, blah, blah. On a statistical side, I haven't been looking at my overall blog stats summary because I normally block it to protect my insecurities and anxiety. Yep. But I actually got over 300 views last month and this is a little big thing for me because usually I get somewhere in the 200s since when? Yeah, since the past year I'm usually like 200 something. Now, like last month, it was actually 300 something, so it's a little milestone. So my thought is maybe not checking my stats like every day helped me focus better. See, this is how insecure I was. Anyway, note that for a given blog post, I'll maybe get 5 or 10 views, and for YouTube, I probably get, I don't know, 5 to 30 views. I don't know, it's a bit more, so I'm just giving this YouTube video a go. I'm gonna see how this video goes as well, and if it doesn't really work out after this, if I do a second one, then I might stop doing these videos and go back to just focusing on my blog and art and learning. So I'm giving things a go, okay? Yeah. Anywho, with social media, I'm far away from reaching my metric milestones. I do hope to reach more milestones one day. I don't know. I feel like I'm at a plateau. I haven't been growing much in recent years, but I'm not gonna stress too much about it. I used to stress out a lot because when you're in a panic mode, you feel trapped. You feel like you can't trust anyone. You can't really rely on anyone for long. Like that sense of being isolated. A lot of mixed emotions, and like all you can the only thing you can decide how well you're going is your metrics. That's not really a healthy thing. So it's taken me a while for me to reframe my mind again to distance myself from the metrics side of things. But still, metrics is still helpful to see if people are drawn to your work and whether you have an audience or not. But it's not everything. It's definitely not everything. The more important things is the connections and friendships, or like mutual interests with people and all that. What am I saying? I think I'm saying metrics is not important as the connections along the way, I guess. Is in short what I'm trying to say. Yep. I did it, okay. Anywho, thanks so much again, as I close this video, to the generous support of my patrons. Thank you for listening, and take care of your own little learning and life adventures. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want, like if you want, comment if you want. I don't know. This is for me to figure out if this video thing is working. So it's up to you how you want to respond, or not at all. I'm just grateful that you're listening. Thank you, and I don't know when I'm gonna do a next video. It depends. There's so much in the year. I don't know. Anywho, regardless of all that, catch me around at my blog, as I said, at social media, and what else? If you like what I do, consider supporting me at Patreon. It's really a tip jar. I'm not really doing anything, too much there. I'm just, hey, if you want to support me, there you go. I'm not gonna do any exclusive stuff. That's currently how it is right now, because I have seen artists burn out on trying to give all these exclusive stuff just for patrons, like, and I don't want to end up like that. I need to figure out if I want to go into a direction with Patreon, but right now I'm not. I have no plans right now. I think I need to focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, I just feel really wearing thin across across too many things, and I don't think I will do anything well. So, yeah, I think what I need to focus on is actually, reaching a bigger audience if I can, and getting better at art and reflecting along the way. And that's my philosophy right now. Just progress, right? And enjoying the progress as well. Like, not making it feel like a chore, and feeling like you're forced to do it and burning out because of it, because that's not really a good way to do things, to be creative out of, when you feel really limited and bounded by external factors. Anywho, I keep rambling, and I'm glad I called this Leonie Art Rambles, because I am rambling on. I am delivering what I have described this to be. So thank you for listening again. I don't know how many times I said that. Thank you, and bye bye.